these two shearers are going to try and shear as quickly as they possibly can. But it's not just a horse race. It's not just who can shear the fastest. They must shear very cleanly as well, because we are judging their workmanship. We are judging their workmanship here on the board. Our judges are rotating. Our time clocks are running right now. 1 point for every 20 seconds.
Come on, Mick!
And for our shearers here on the board, our judges watching very carefully. Look at Mike Cora and Braden Anderson. This is, okay, I'm sorry, it is a sheep race. It truly is a sheep race. They are under a minute on their first of 6 sheep to shear here today. Our judges on the board, they're judging that workmanship. They're looking for second cuts in the wool. If the shearer has to go over the same area a second time, we're going to add penalty points for that, because it lessens the value of the wool when we ship it off to market. We want to keep that wool as long as we can so we can make the most use of it. So we've got 2 little short pieces of wool. Sure, we're going to still use it for our felt cowboy hats or for our felt pool table covers, for example. But if we've got that nice long fiber, we're going to be able to spin it into yarn and then weave it into blankets or knit it into sweaters, for example. This is Mike Cora against Braden Anderson. Australia versus New Zealand. This is kind of like Calgary versus Edmonton in hockey. Only probably more competitive even. Alright, Mike. They are blazing through these sheep, but again, that's time just 1 point for every 20 seconds. They also get points here on the board if they make those second cuts in the wool. And then we look back at each sheep afterwards. We inspect them all very carefully, assess any penalty points. If they cut or nick the sheep, we're going to add penalty points to that. It's not hard to cut or nick them. The equipment they're using is very sharp. The skin is loose under the skin. If need be, we'll call the vet to put in a couple of stitches. We had to do that yesterday for 1 sheep out of the 200 that we sheared yesterday. That does happen because the sheep might move, or there might be a wrinkle that you didn't see in the skin. And in fact, the merino breed of sheep that they raised, that these guys grew up shearing, was actually raised to have more wrinkles in the neck when it was first developed in Spain, because they thought more wrinkles meant more wool. And the merino breed raised primarily for its wool, very wrinkly on the neck. These guys are kind of a piece of cake for these guys to shear. These lambs are pretty easy for them by comparison to those merino sheep that they're used to shearing with the very wrinkly necks back home in Australia and New Zealand. Now the shearers use their legs and their feet to hold and position that animal. They use their free hand to keep that skin as tight as possible. It is a full body workout, folks. No gym memberships required. Gold Gym would go out of business if they only had to look for shearers to keep their gyms going. These guys work very, very hard. They say it's the equivalent of running 2 or 3 marathons every day just to make a living. Quit your complaining about your day job sitting at that computer playing Shaun the Sheep games. All right, Mike Cora, Braden Anderson, shearing as quickly as they can, but more importantly, shearing cleanly. We want that lamb to look like an egg, as smooth as an egg, no ridges, no tufts of wool, no streaks where we caught a comb, the corner of the comb, anything like that. This is one of the combs that they might be using here today. You can see how sharp that is. And then on top of that is the cutter that moves back and forth that actually cuts the wool. They're using the comb to lift the wool up off the skin, and then that cutter will slice it off. This is very sharp. It's real easy to catch catch a tooth of that comb just in a wrinkle or something like that. So you might see a little bit of blood from that. I'm going to say the word blood. You might see a little bit of that. But don't worry, we're going to take care of that sheep right away. And the lanolin that is in the wool, that natural wax, will actually help that cut heal up and very, very quickly, because lanolin actually has antibacterial properties they found when they done tests in the lab now. And so if you suffer from dry, cracked skin here in the cold Canadian winters, make sure that you look for a lotion and soap that have good quality lanolin, the natural product from sheep's wool. This is a renewable resource that we are harvesting. We do this once a year on the farms and sheep stations around the world, where we harvest wool from the animal. They're then turned back out to pasture, back into the feedlot, and they're a lot happier without that full winter's growth of wool on them. These are lambs, and this is the first time any of them have been shorn. So it's a new experience for them. Their wool is not that long, so it's not that good a fleece. If it was a full year's growth, like the sheep that we're going to be shearing later that have a full year's growth of wool on them, it would shake out about the size of a double bed, and you'd be able to make 3 or 4 sweaters out of it. Now my sheep are from Scotland, so you could make 1 kilt. All right, Mike Cora and our 2 finalists, Braden Anderson and Mike Cora, neck and neck on their final sheep. This is awesome. Let's hear it for them. Cheer them on. New Zealand against Australia. All right, let's cheer them on. And stroke for stroke, Braden Anderson finishes first. Mike Cora, 3 more strokes to go down that leg. She's excited too about it.